Good morning, Oakland Center. And good morning to everyone out there. Please join me as we sing the Black National Anthem, if you're able to stand. I do believe the words will be on the overheads. Lift every voice and sing, till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun, let us march on till victory is won. Stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod, belting the days when hope unborn had died, yet with a steady beat have not our weary feet come to the place for which our fathers sighed. We have come over a way that with tears have been watered. We have come treading our path through the blood of the slaughtered. Out from the gloomy past till now we stand at last, where the white gleam of our bright star is cast. God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, now who has brought us thus far on the way, now who has by thy might led us into the light. Keep us forever in the path we pray, lest our feet stray from the places our God where we met thee, lest our hearts drunk with the wine of the world we forget thee. Shadowed beneath thy hand, may we forever stand, true to our God, true to our native land. True to our God, true to our native land. Good morning and happy Sunday. I'm your host, Kenneth Cozy Arrington, and I'd like to thank all of our other musicians today. Deb Santamaria, Darrell Broadnax, and Rob Hart. And let's give love to our awesome sound engineer, Jimmy Tozel. Yes. So we respectfully acknowledge that here in the Bay Area, we gather on the traditional land of the indigenous Ohlone people. We honor with gratitude the land itself and the people who have stewarded these lands for countless generations. Once again, welcome to the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living, where we teach spiritual principles and practices that nourish us, uplifts us, and celebrate our oneness with all of life. A special welcome to those of you who are joining us for the very first time. We're so glad you're here in the sanctuary with us. Anyone here for the first time? If so, please raise your hand. Oh, we have someone. Let's give them a round of applause. Yes. So, and also a big welcome to everyone else who is joining us today on YouTube Live and Facebook Live. Make sure you sign up for our weekly newsletter so you can learn all about the fun things we have to offer here at Oakland Center. And as a reminder, if you are experiencing any cold or flu COVID symptoms, please tune in on YouTube or Facebook Live instead of coming to service in person. Thank you for signing in before service and wearing masks, covering your nose and mouth while indoors. Oh, that's cute, isn't it? Now, let's take a moment to bless our children wherever they are. Please, let's read along. We bless our children in our community and the world. We love you, we see you, we know the truth of who you are. You are a unique expression of God, and we are grateful to have you in our lives. And so it is. We've had a fabulous Black History Month, 365. As we bring February to a close, we acknowledge and we celebrate the importance of Black history throughout the year. Next Wednesday, March 1st, Reverend Sunshine Michelle will facilitate an interactive discussion on living curiosity out loud. Meditation is at 6:30 p.m. and service is at 7 p.m. by Zoom. On Friday, March 3rd, we remember and celebrate our beloved Louise Thompson, RSCP. The Celebration of Life ceremony begins at 3 p.m. right here in the sanctuary. Next Sunday, March 5th, Reverend Jerry Carter will be speaking on the topic, Everyone Else is Already Taken. Okay? Meditation is at 10 a.m. and Sunday service is at 10:30 a.m. Also on Sunday, March 5th, is the next Compassionate Attention to Loss Ministry Support Group meeting. We gather on the first Sunday of every month, so remember to put it on your calendar. Collect your items for our nonprofit Abundant Blessings this week. This week is the last week to get those items into the barrel this month. The list is in the Village News, on the barrel, and on the Nonprofit Partners page. Click About Us and go to the drop-down menu for Nonprofit Partners. Abundant Blessings. Okay. Where do I go next? Loving stewards. Oh, back to Margot? I would like now to call Margot Tabet to the altar. Let's hear it from Margot.
For the last 8 or 9 years, I've been doing the gardening here. A few years ago, Diane Warner, who's up at youth right now, came, and together we did the gratitude garden. And Bob Reed helps with the watering. But coming out of this winter, we realized that the garden was getting bigger and we were getting older and we were overwhelmed by the needs. And Loving Stewards of the Earth, which is our wonderful environmental group, we'll be hearing about Earth Day from them, has adopted us. And it's one of those win-win adoptions. And they are supporting the garden party this Saturday. And because it's such short notice, Reverend Sunshine Michelle allowed me to come up and make a plea for help. It may rain in the latter part of that morning, so if we get here early, before 9 o'clock, if even 10 or 20 people came and worked a half an hour, it would make a huge difference. And Diane and I could keep doing the weekly fine-tuning for a longer period of time. So it sounds like bring your own equipment, your gloves, anything that would help dig out those roots, some pruning shears or hedge clippers. And it sounds like I'm promising rain and cold, but I'm also promising the joy of working together to make this place beautiful, the privilege of being right next to the great diversity of our garden. And one thing I can absolutely promise you is that when love has been put into this garden, it returns it in magnificent, magical ways, which is our whole wonderful creative principle. So to all of you who I'm hoping will come, even for half an hour, thank you.
Thank you, Margot. Now, please stand and read along with us as we read our vision and mission statement. Here we go. The vision of Oakland Centers for Spiritual Living is to joyfully reveal the love and oneness of God. We are a welcoming and inclusive community dedicated to individual transformation and collective growth. Our purpose is to love, inspire, and serve our community and the world through education, music, prayer, and play. So it is.
Good morning, Oakland Center. It's a beautiful day today, even though it looks kind of gloomy out there. But we're here and we're having a good time. So just buckle your seat belts because we are ready to have our own little individual God party going on right here. So we say hi to the live streamers. We're happy you're with us this morning too. And if I didn't tell you, my name is Dorothy Mendez, and I'm a practitioner here at the Oakland Center. And as our senior practitioner, Ms. Dodie Cheney Fernandez would say, I'm an emeritus practitioner now. So I have 2 readings today. And our first reading is from Dr. Daniel Lee Morgan. And there is a group that every Monday through Friday at 12 o'clock, they do a 365 of Dr. Daniel Lee Morgan, and it's a spiritual journey, and it is on Zoom. So if you're available, go on our newsletter, and you'll find it there. So I ask that you sit back, relax, and listen to these 2 readings. Dr. Dan first. God is love. So when you have love, you have God. And when you have God, you have oneness. And that oneness must be good. Our second reading is by Dr. Howard Thurman. In the quietness of this place, surrounded by the all-pervading presence of God, my heart whispers, keep fresh before me the moments of my high resolve, that in fair weather or in foul, in good times or in tempests, in the days when the darkness and the foe are nameless or familiar, I may not forget that to which my life is committed. Keep fresh before me the moments of my high resolve. So let us just go within, recognizing and knowing that there is only one life, and that life is the life of God. And that life is whole, that life is perfect, that life is complete. And that is my life and your life right here, right now. As we recognize there is only one of us, we are one. We are one with the love and the light of God shining through each and every one within the sound of my voice. I bless this service, knowing that this service is already complete in the mind of God, and that each one of us are transformed and renewed by the words that God gives to Reverend Sunshine to give to us. I bless our fabulous musicians who bring us joy with their music. And I am knowing that we are truly, truly transformed this day, because this is the day that God has created. And we are rejoicing in it right here, right now, grounded in that love, in that light that is God. So here we are, open at the top, at the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living, ready to just take off and transform our lives as we take on a light that shines within us, and we take that light out into the community, and we share our love with a stranger, letting someone go ahead of us in line, paying for the toll for the car behind us, spreading our love and our gratitude that we are one with the Creator of all things, and that is God. So I am blessing this service and all who make this service perfect, knowing that we are one, knowing that we are transformed and renewed by these words and this music. So I give thanks, knowing that it is already complete in the mind of God. And if you agree with anything I have said, please join me in saying, and so it is. Amen.
Noah, Noah, let me come in. Doors are fastened and the windows pinned. Keep your hand on that plow. Hold on. Noah said, you done lost your track. Can't plow straight and keep a-looking back. Keep your hand on that plow and hold on. Hold on, keep your hand on that plow and hold on. Mary held on, hold on, keep your hand on that plow and hold on. Mary had a golden chain, every link spelled with Jesus' name. Keep your hand on that plow and hold on. Hold that chain and never tire. Every rung goes higher and higher. Keep your hand on the plow and hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Keep your hand on that plow and hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Keep your hand on that plow and hold on. If you want to get to heaven, I'll tell you how. Keep your hand on that gospel plow. Keep your hand on that plow and hold on. When I get to heaven, gonna sing and shout. Be nobody there to put me out. Keep your hand on that plow and hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Keep your hand on that plow and hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Keep your hand on that plow. Keep your hand on that plow. Keep your hand on that plow and hold. Hold on. Yes. Hold on. Hold on.
He's tall. I'm tall too, but Kenneth, I'm going to bring this down a little bit. Is that okay? Kenneth Cozy Arrington and the Fierce Deb Santa Maria. So good to have you here. Okay, y'all, I'm getting it together. Hang on just a second. There we go. Well, happy Black History Month 365. I'm so glad to be here. Hi! Oh my goodness, welcome back. I don't mean to call anybody out, but you know, it's so good to see you. Oh my goodness, it's so good to see you. Good to see all of you. Welcome, welcome. Hello, live stream. I am freshly back from the Vista conference. I keep seeing people and it's, oh, hi. You don't have to just like stay here, but you know, we're family. I can do that, right? Yes. I want to look you in your eye. I want to see the God in you. I want you to see the God in me. Right? Right. Thank you for letting me be who I am. Okay, where was I? Just freshly back from the Centers for Spiritual Living annual Vista conference, which was thumbs up. I see a thumbs up back there. I see several people that were there with me. It was in 3 different locations and virtual, so it was hybrid. We're learning, the pandemic has taught us how to do things differently, right? So we started out in Santa Rosa, it moved to, we didn't go there, but it then moved to Phoenix, and then it ended in Dallas. And let me tell you, OCSL was represented. We had about 10 people that went between live and virtual. We were in Santa Rosa, some of us. We had 5 delegates, which means that there were 5 people that represented this center that were able to vote in the election. So that's voting power. We know how important voting is. We had our own practitioner, Bonnie Gonzalez, to deliver our virtual workshop on grief. I delivered a virtual workshop, a Sacred Sister Circle for Women of Color, plus I was co-facilitator for a group workshop. OCSL was in the house. It's a good thing. It's a great thing. We have a new spiritual leader of all of Centers for Spiritual Living, Reverend Sonny Cantrell Smith, who has been here to support the transition to a new minister. So let's give it up for Reverend Sonny. And she's out of Lexington, Kentucky at the Ahava Center. This is important for me to tell you this. That's why I'm pausing before I go on to my talk. It's important for you to know what is happening within our movement and how we are represented. And we blessed Reverend Edward Villun, who is the senior minister at Santa Rosa where we were, and he is our outgoing spiritual leader, and he was presented as a thank you gift with cufflinks from Ernest Holmes. Ernest Holmes didn't present them. I know it sounded like that when I said it, right? They were his cufflinks. So what a blessing that was. So let's give it up for Reverend Edward, Dr. Edward. You can probably catch the full slate of winners on the csl.org website. I also want to tell you that one of our own was nominated and elected to the member council. Our own Robert Leeds right here is now in the member council of Centers for Spiritual Living, so yay us. It was really great. They were talking about evolutionary love. And I want to give you just a couple of highlights so that you can feel like you were there, at least from my listening. Dr. Edward talked about a report that he put together of the good news that's going on across the globe in Centers for Spiritual Living. You know how we have a tendency to focus on what's not working? And we talk about we want to make it a world that's working for everybody. Well, it dawned on him, let's see what the other centers are doing. And he put together this 49-page report of all the good things that we are already doing to make it a world that works for everyone. And OCSL was included in there. So that 49-page report, I know you asked me where it was, it is on csl.org. If you go to that website and click About Us, if you scroll down to the Spiritually Motivated and Socially Engaged Committee, you will see a link there for that report. Go check it out. It is really amazing, the wonderful things that we are doing. And Dr. Edward also talked about not so much focusing on what hasn't been. What are we doing? It's about now. It's about the good in your life. This is the flip it moment I try to tell us about. Remember? Where we may say something, oh, I'm not doing this, is the bent that it gives. Flip it. What are you doing? What are you intending, even if you haven't done it, to step into the intentionality of it? So it was a great thing that he was calling us to. The opening address at Vista, the opening address was done in Spanish. And guess what? Those of us who don't know Spanish were given devices that it could be translated into English. Now, isn't that a bold move? For global inclusion. It was wonderful. It was beautiful. And that was Reverend Blanca Morales from Cancun who delivered that speech. They had, and some of this was obviously being we were watching it. We were in Santa Rosa, but watching it on the screen. It was global. There was a woman named Johanna in the Netherlands who gave a power talk, and I just want to tell you what she said about the platinum rule. So I guess the golden rule is kind of bumped out. We got a platinum rule, and the platinum rule is, where did it go? I just had it right there. Hang on a second, let me find it. Oh, here it is, right in my face. I want for you what you want for you. You know, the golden rule is do unto others as you would have them do unto you. But what if we're family? What if we're community? I want the best for you. Don't we say that? We got to know that we're wanting the best for ourselves, so I want for you what you want for you. I love that. Reverend Sonny Cantrell Smith said in her acceptance speech, I love this, I just captured little glimmers to bring to you. We cannot sacrifice our humanity in chasing spiritual enlightenment. It's all about the both and. Dr. Petra Weldis in Dallas said that we're spirit human. We've heard that, right? We're humans we're spiritual beings having a human experience. So it's about action, though. We can seek spiritual enlightenment, but what are we going to do down here on the ground? Boots on the ground. How are we going to enact this and make this a world that works for everyone? In Dallas, Reverend Karen Fry said, here's 2 questions that I want to pose to you all. What aspects of yourself are you not fully embracing? Check that out. You're not going to be able to necessarily tell me right here. I want you to go into meditation. I want you to look at your spiritual practice. I want you to be honest with yourself about what aspects of yourself of ourselves are you not fully embracing. Here's the other question she asked. Are there any parts of you that you're rejecting? I bet there are. Remember, it's been a while now. I'm going on my 3rd month here. When I first got here, I was talking about, looking at myself and wanting to release a few pounds, which I am doing, by the way. That's action, boots on the ground. But it was, I noticed that I was telling myself that I didn't like myself. Have you ever done that? Yeah. I wish this was different. You know, those of us who have curly hair want straight hair, and those who have straight hair want curly hair. Are you accepting what God gave you to do for you and who you are? So these are just a few glimmers and notes that I took from the Vista Conference. And so now I move into our topic today. We're finishing out February, which is curiosity. Curiosity as our superpower. Our annual theme is living out loud. What is the action we're going to take to live our lives out loud? So when you lean into, I love that term, lean in. You're going to hear me talking about lean in all the time. When you lean into curiosity willingly, because you don't have to. You really don't. But I bet you're here because you want to. Right? So when you lean into curiosity to seek a better understanding, you open yourself just by the lean. It's like, tell me more. Tell me more. Try that at when you're talking with someone. Just listen to them and then lean in. You don't even have to say it. I bet you'll have a different conversation with them. Because it says that I'm open, I'm willing. It helps you shift your perspective. And this is what makes the world work for everyone. So curiosity and wonderment, I love how those go together. It expands our consciousness when we are curious about something, when we ask the question, when we ask the what. How do I do that? Really? But what do we have to do? We have to let go of our defensiveness first. You can't really ask when you're so busy defending. No, I didn't do that. I didn't say that. I didn't, as opposed to that. What if instead, maybe you have to let that run out, right? Let all that stuff run out. And then breathe into it and say, what if that's true? What if I was acting defensively? What if I did offend somebody by what I said? Or if you don't understand how it offended them, then you say, show me, Spirit, how I could have offended them. When you do that, you're leaning in with curiosity, and you know what? You'll get the answer because you're opening the door. Spirit will meet you where you are. The answer, as I said last week, is already there. We just have to ask the question. That's what I'm talking about, is asking the question. So I had an experience yesterday, or whatever it was. I came to this realization, and I was saying to the universe, can I have a do-over? Have you heard of the do-overs? I don't even know who said that, but I like it. It came to my mind. Because I realized just last week when I was having a conversation with somebody and they asked me a direct question, and I realized just yesterday, not then, it came back to me though, and I heard it, so I listened. I responded from a place of hurt. And that's not how I wanted to show up. I could berate myself, and trust me, for a while I was. I was saying, how come you did that? You know you're this, and you're not supposed to do this, and you're a physician, and you're a senior minister, and you should have done this, and just going on and on and on. Inside story. It's like, wait a minute, pause that. What if I forgive myself? What if I say to the universe, can I have a do-over? What if I'm imagining, we talk about changing our story. What if I can imagine how it would be different if I said something different? What did I learn for next time? That's not a lost experience. Just because it was uncomfortable doesn't mean that it was an experience that didn't serve. If you follow the lesson that it's giving you. So spiritual do-over, try it. Along with forgiveness. Okay, we're getting real now. You ready? Okay, so curiosity. Be curious to learn more. To learn more, not to dissect as a spectacle in othering. So curiosity could mean, let me take myself as an example because I've experienced this a lot. Curiosity by dissection to create a spectacle as in othering could mean, can I touch your hair? Oh, the hair. How did you do that? It's genuine. I get that. But doesn't that other me? Doesn't that make me feel a certain way? Perhaps. And I've been in the position of saying, of course you can. But I'm telling you how it can make others feel othered, as if a spectacle, as opposed to curiosity, genuinely curious. So curiosity can help us move through the notion of bias. We can ask ourselves, like I mimicked a moment ago, did I really do that? Oh, what should I have done? What could I have done? This is where healing comes in, people. That's why I'm mentioning it. Be curious through listening differently, perhaps. Have you ever listened and you thought you knew what the person was already saying? And so you kind of checked out and you're waiting for your turn to speak, trying to be polite, already forming what it is that you're going to say? Do you think they feel heard? Right. So if we check ourselves and listen wholly, listen differently, we'll get a different experience. That's why I'm focusing on listening. I have a listening class that's coming up. That's why. I want to listen to what the community has to say, but I'm telling you now, I also want us to learn to listen to each other. Because the way we listen allows someone to speak honestly. We hold space. And if we're holding space for each other, if we believe we're community, then there's healing that can come because we're allowing ourselves to be curious about and to listen in and to help ourselves change to make a world that works for everyone. So therefore, perhaps we learn how we may have offended somebody and we didn't think that we did. Instead of, no, I didn't. That wasn't my intention. Yes, I know it might not have been your intention, but guess what? Intention and impact are different. Your intention might have been one thing, but the impact that it had on someone is something different. So listening to what someone has to say, that this is how what you said impacted me, you can lean in and say, tell me more. As opposed to, I didn't do that. I didn't intend that. Are you feeling it? Are you getting what I'm saying? Can be a subtle distinction, but this is something that is really important. Be curious and courageous, because curiosity takes courage. Instead of afraid that you're going to get something wrong, and so you don't ask a question. You want to know something about somebody's culture, but you want to be sure that you say it in the right way, and you don't want to offend somebody, which is good. But what do? You let the fear drive you, and so you don't ask the question at all. So then that person may feel like you don't care or you're not interested. Find a way to get in there and have the courage and ask it anyway, with dignity, with respect, with compassion. Allow the space for curiosity on both sides of the equation so that you can come together. You know, there could be a little tension in there. But if we all check ourselves and breathe and allow ourselves to be in it from a wholesome place and let God be in the middle of the conversation, we'll get somewhere. You know, Audre Lorde. Any of you heard of Audre Lorde? Yes. An awesome person on the other side now who was a black feminist. And the reason she was identifying herself and identifying as a black feminist is because she didn't find herself necessarily in the feminist movement. You know, in the early feminism days, black women weren't necessarily highlighted in that. So Audre Lorde just continued to be herself as a black woman, and there's more, as a black lesbian woman. Because in feminism, the LGBT community hadn't evolved yet on the outside. So Audre Lorde was a black lesbian feminist who then, just standing in who she is, ended up embracing others who had uniqueness. I don't really like the word difference. We're all different. We're all unique too. So standing in other identities, there were those who might be differently abled physically, or those who had different cultural or sexual preferences. Differences, from the perspective of uniqueness, were able to be held in black feminism. That's how that fluidity came about. And so Audre had to be curious, right? She had to stand in her own curiosity and desire for the acknowledgement of her truth, of who she is, in order to take a stand and make a position for herself. So this is the kind of curiosity that I'm talking about for us to live out loud, whatever your curiosity may be. You know, let me tell you real quick about an incident that I ran into yesterday. That was very upsetting. I was running errands and I was on my way home, and I was in town approaching a major intersection. And I could see I was several cars back, and I could see all traffic stopped, because in the middle of that busy intersection, was a gang of young black and brown appearing males beating up on someone. Someone was on the ground, I couldn't see who, and this whole altercation was happening. And I was stunned. I was like, what is going on? People were stopped in different places. No one was really doing anything. You know, I was thinking, should I call 911? Well, the first thing you think about is like, no. On some black and browns, no. No, that could get worse real quick. No. What do we do? So it broke itself up, and we were able to move on. So I drove home another 5 minutes. I wasn't too far, but I was just in shock. And then after the shock passed, I remembered to pray. And for a moment, I berated myself, like, how come you weren't praying back there? You should have got out and stood right there and prayed, or whatever it is. You get how we go into automatic pilot about things like this? This is real, y'all. This was just yesterday. And a friend came over a little later, and she was saying something totally different, and I kept having these images flash by of that incident. That's trauma. That's trauma. That's how we experience trauma. And so I took it to the greater beings and said, greater beings, show me what is mine to do. Should I have done something different? What can I do in this world that's so filled with violence? And you know what I heard? You did what you were supposed to do. You raised your voice in prayer. Now, that was that call to action right then. But there might be another call to action that you're hearing within yourself. Maybe it's for me to go support an agency that's working with young black and brown youth, male youth that, have been in the system or something. I don't know, I'm just giving an example. But this is a live example. And had I not been curious asking the question, I would not have necessarily heard this thing. I was in the diversity circle on Friday where, anybody else at the Four Pivots book club? Yes? It was really great, facilitated by Crystal Fry, Deborah Jackson, and Carmen West Jefferson on the book, The Four Pivots. And it was interactive, so there were questions. I'm not going to go into the book, although it's a great book, and we decided we're going to do a part 2 of this discussion. But here's the question I wanted to bring to you that was asked of the group. I love it for this community. What's your wildest dream for OCSL? And who do you have to become to make that possible? What's your wildest dream for this community? And who do you have to become to make that happen? That's the question we need to be talking about in order for us to take some action and make it a world that works for everyone. I heard in that diversity circle, Doug Myers, who facilitates it along with Sri Devi, said, let's hold in prayer tomorrow, the Jewish community, because some hate group has proposed that tomorrow, which is now yesterday, be labeled a day of hate for the Jewish community. Doesn't it just make your stomach turn? Like, who would want to do that? But it keeps happening. It's happening all over. So right now, I want us all to take a moment of silence and throw as much love out there into the ethers for the Jewish community so we can neutralize some of that hate that may have gone out there. Throw love out there. We're throwing it to everybody, but right now we are loving up our Jewish community. Thank you. And you can keep that up and keep on doing that. Where there is hate, there is love. Remember that continuum? That's what we believe in this philosophy. We're looking to the other side of the continuum. So as I bring this to a close, what Spirit wanted me to do, because, I've said, I started out Black History Month talking about our youth. Our history empowers our future. And so I'm looking to our youth. You should look to our youth, or I'm inviting you to. Anybody heard of Amanda Gorman? Our youth poet laureate. Well, she's a young woman now, so I'm not sure how she feels about that word youth, but she's a young person. And she wrote for the beginning of this year a new poem called A New Day's Lyric. And what I heard, y'all know I listen, I heard that I wanted to partner with some of our OCSL young people to have them recite this poem. So that is what we're going to do right now. I want you to take a listen as we invite up Sunny Day Ross. Are you doing the poem by yourself, darling? Let's welcome Sunny Day Ross.
May this be the day we come together. Mourning, we come to mend. Withered, we come to wither. Torn, we come to tend. Battered, we come to better. Tethered by the year of yearning, we are learning that though we aren't ready for this, we have been readied by it. We steadily vow that no matter how we are weighed down, we must always pave a way to forward. This hope is our door, our portal. Even when we never get back to normal, someday we can venture beyond it. To leave the known and take the first steps, so that let us not return to what was normal, but reach toward what is next. What is cursed, we will cure. What is plagued, we will prove pure. We will tend to argue, we will try to agree. Those fortunes we forswore, know the future will foresee. Where we weren't aware, we're now awake. Those moments we missed are now these moments we make. The moments we meet and our hearts, once all together beaten, now all together beat. Come look with kindness yet, for even solace can be sourced from sorrow. We remember not just for the sake of yesterday, but to take on tomorrow. We heed this old spirit in a new day's lyric. In our hearts we hear it. For all long sign, my dear, for all long sign, be bold saying time this year. Be bold saying time. For when you honor yesterday, tomorrow you will find. Know what we fought need not be forgot, nor for none. It defines us, binds us as one. Come over, join this day just begun. For wherever we come together, we will forever overcome.
Thank you, baby. Good job. Yes, our youth empower our history, and we move forward. Thank you, Sunny Day Ross. I so appreciate that. So now it is our time to go into prayer. You know, we close everything with prayer. We open it and close it and do the middle. Everything should be with prayer in this movement. And so I invite the practitioners and the ministers to surround the congregation in their love and light. Those practitioners and ministers online, I invite you to stand as we hold the consciousness of truth. Allow your eyes to gently close, if you will, if you're comfortable, or look at our beautiful stained glass window and focus on the divine truth within. And without, it's all around. That eternal presence that always is. It is here, it is there, it is everywhere present. In its magnificence, in its glory, in its exuberance, in its magnetism, in its infinite resourcing, it is creative divine source. It is everything. And it is the no thing all at once. It is so beautiful, and it is so personal, just as personal as the heartbeat and the baby's cry, for it is within us. It is that beautiful brook that floats down the stream, the beautiful grass, our beautiful garden that Margot talked about that is overrun with growth of Mother Gaia. It's the sky, it's the galaxies, it's each and every one of us. It's everywhere, teeming with life. Oh, what a joy and a blessing to behold this divine truth. And I am pleased and delighted to speak this word of truth that I know goes before and executes even before I utter the next word. For it is fully manifest and fully complete. Thank you, Susan, for bringing that prayer box up. It's every prayer in this box. It's every prayer in our heart. It's all of our heartbeats. It's every space and place and dimension and time. And so I speak this word of truth, of wholeness, harmony, love, joy, peace, clarity, that simply is, that emanates everywhere, especially where it is needed. We bless our nonprofit partner this month, Abundant Blessings, who are taking care of the homeless here in Alameda County. We bless them with Reverend Ona Afri, knowing the goodness of God goes before and resources them to continue to do their great work in the world. Excuse me. And we bless our Mother Gaia. Just breathe with me. We bless our Mother Gaia, our beautiful earth, who provides for us always in its beauty, in her wisdom, in her resource, and in every way. We bless you, Mother Gaia, and give thanks for you, knowing that your bounty is restored and that your beauty is always expressing. And we also give thanks for our youth, like was up here with Sunny Day Ross, and our youth that are right there in the next building, our youth that are in our lives, that are everywhere present, just as we blessed them earlier with that affirmation. That affirmation is included in this prayer because every young person that is, no matter how old they are blessed right where they are with whatever it is that they need so that they can grow and develop and become the greatness of God fully expressing. I bless all those who are in some kind of service today, giving of their sacred seva, giving thanks that you have said yes and that you are giving, knowing that receivership is yours as well. And I bless those who are on our prayer list, those who have requested prayer, and our ministry of prayer is praying for. I bless Zachary, Miranda Roberts and her family, Antonia Griffin, Blessing Jay, Taylor Wesley, Anthony Prado and family, Jim Young, Firefly, Olivia Walter, Christine Anderson, blessing each and every one of them, knowing that whatever their need is, that divine resourcing is providing for them in health, wholeness, well-being, financial abundance, healing, transformation, whatever it is, it already is, we declare. And I send a special blessing to our outgoing Centers for Spiritual Living spiritual leader, Dr. Edward Villon, giving thanks for all of his service as he retires his role and passes the torch on to incoming spiritual leader, Reverend Sonny Cantrell Smith, blessing them both for their divine yes, for serving this movement known as Centers for Spiritual Living and helping us, guiding us, leading us for it to become a world that truly does work for everyone. Giving thanks for our world and that our world is blessed, even despite the violent acts that I mentioned earlier or any others that we are aware of. We know peace. We know harmony. We know the joy and the love of God is right there in the midst of the violence of the wars, like that one that's in Ukraine, or in the midst of the earthquake and the victims of the earthquake there in Turkey and Syria, or in New Zealand where they had a tsunami, and one of our congregants asked me before service to lift them up because she has family there, blessing them as well, and anywhere else where there has been tragedy or calamity, we bless them knowing that there is mending back together, that they are able to come together, that hearts are healed, bodies are healed, townships are healed, and blessing Oakland right here in our community, right here. Yes, we live in the Bay Area, and I bless all of the Bay Area cities and counties and what have you, but as someone asked me to bless Oakland, I put our hands of love right here on this city right now, knowing that the love of God is right here lifting us up. And those who have made their transitions onto the other side, knowing that life is eternal and life continues, we surround them in love and light. That is our own beloved Don Hartzell, loving him and his family as they grieve and mourn his loss. And we give thanks for his many years of service. And blessing our own Louise Thompson, who we memorialize next Friday right here in this sanctuary. I know this prayer goes before and holds the family and all who gather at that service next week and now. And I bless Herman Moody as he has made his transition on the other side, and my dear friend Dolores Sears Brown. I bless her and her family right there in Las Vegas, Nevada. And I give thanks for Papa Moody and all of his service there in the Nevada Police Department and in his almost 99 years of living, blessing him and giving thanks. And so I invite us all to go within our own hearts. Who are you wanting to pray for? Who are you already praying for is on your prayer list. And I invite you in this beautiful vortex of prayer and love and high consciousness to speak your name aloud and to speak the names of any and everyone that you're able to, that you're praying for. Person, place, thing, doesn't matter. What we know, and what we know that we know is that God is large and in charge, and that God's allness is touching the place that of each and every name that is called, each and every circumstance, each situation is lifted by the wings of love, is lifted by God's goodness and greatness and wholeness. Every prayer in this box that Susan is holding, I know, is blessed and addressed. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit, for going before and preparing the way for fulfilling this word of truth, for speaking it through my voice and in with the high consciousness in agreement of these practitioners and ministers who are standing around, and blessing those people who are online participating and all of their prayers that they may have too. And so I send this word of prayer up into the divine ethers of love and law, that I know it is activated and it is made manifest right here, right now, in the best possible way. Praise God for that. I let it go and I let it be, and I invite you to declare this with me. And so it is. Praise God. Thank you, practitioners and ministers. And now is our time of joyous giving. Yoo-hoo! It's a good thing to be able to give. Give of what you can. And as you prepare your offering, some of you may have it on auto tithe like I do, auto give, and it's already done. But that doesn't mean we don't bless it, right? If you're giving something today, whether it's cash, check, whatever it is, we invite you to prepare it. We'll invite you up shortly. But first, we're going to say our affirmation together. And there's many ways to give. We can go to csl.org. Those of you online, I encourage you to do that now so that you won't forget. And you click on donate, and then you can give by Zelle, text to give. You can give by donating. And here is our affirmation. I invite you to put your offering, whatever it is, even if it's in mind, Put it across your heart, put your hand to your heart, and let us bless it by saying together, the gift I give is God in action. It does good work in the world and blesses creation. And so it is. And for those of you in the sanctuary, if you would like to bring your offering up to either of these baskets, I invite you to do so in the spirit of circulation and love, in the spirit of movement, in the spirit of knowing that God's abundance is abundant and moving through us right now. And Deb, she's already up there. Oh, of course she is. She was playing music. Blessed be.
An angel asked me, do you know who you are? The question and the answer is not very far. The song of the ages, knowledge of the sages is living where you reside. You hold the key that unlocks the door to enter in that sacred place you haven't gone before, where deep meets deep, soul to soul. Feel the connection as the truth unfolds. I am. You are my I am. You are the answer. You hold the key that unlocks the door to freedom and leads you here to me. So look deep inside you, trust the voice that guides you, it knows the way. There's no separation, we're one in the same. A child of the Creator, known by a different name. Alpha, Omega, eternal flame, burning deep inside you. Do you know my name? I am. From the mountain to the ocean, I am. From the rock to the tree, I am. All the stars and constellations, I am. You are. I am. From the mountains to the oceans, I am. From the rocks to the trees, I am. All the stars and constellations, I am. You are you spiritual? I am mystical. I am love. I live in you, and you live in me. From the very low to the heavens above, I am. Yeah. There's no separation. We're one and the same. A child of the Creator, known by a different name. Alpha, Omega, eternal flame, burning deep inside you. Do you know my name? I am. From the mountains to the oceans, I am. From the rocks to the trees, I am. All the stars and constellations, I am. You are, I am. From the mountains to the ocean, I am. From the rocks to the trees, I am. All the stars and the constellations, I am. You are, I am.
Well, as Joe Osteen would say, did you receive it today? Let's give Reverend Sunshine another hand for those words. Yes, yes. And I want to thank the fabulous Deb Santa Maria, Rob, Daryl, and of course, Mr. Kenneth Cozy himself, okay? Thank you, thank you, thank you for those wonderful sounds of joy. And now I would like to offer you the gift of prayer, that our practitioners will be available with you in the prayer room in the back of the sanctuary. We ask that you not take home a problem or worry. Pray with us. There are practitioners who will be available to do longer sessions. Their cards and pictures are in the social hall. And we also say, if you want to celebrate something, we pray and give thanks for the celebration too. And our Reverend Sunshine will be available after service. We ask that you exit immediately. There is coffee and tea in the social hall, and it's warm. She will not be in the courtyard because it's cold out there. She'll either be in the foyer here or in the social hall. So I just want to say thank you to Helene, who is our PowerPoint, Alice with her camera, Jim, and I don't know who's hiding. Oh, Teresa, hello, and Peggy in the sound booth. Thank them for making this possible. So, I would like you all to stand as we do our closing affirmation together. It'll be up there. No, it won't be up there. So repeat after me. Today I live, to the fullest. Let's say that again. Today I live life to the fullest. I made a mistake. One more time. Today I live life to the fullest. And so it is. Have a blessed week.
Okay, stay standing and let's sing the closing congregational song. Thank you for this day, right? Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This beautiful day. This beautiful day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. My wonderful friend. My wonderful friend. I want to say thank you. 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 Just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you. Say thank you, 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 thank you. I want to say thank you. Peace and blessings, everyone. Love more, judge less. We're out.